Going on, everybody? So here we are, February 9th. I hope all of you guys are doing well. I actually just wrapped up probably the highest volume of phone calls that I've had this year so far. A lot of conversations, and I wanted to kind of come on here and talk to you guys about what I'm hearing, what I'm noticing, the types of conversations that I'm having, and kind of give you a bit of what's going on the market, right? So every couple weeks we come on here, we talk about the realities of the market, what's going on, some of the numbers that we can discuss, some of the numbers that are some of the trends that we see. And I've been having these conversations with a lot of people all day. We've had some people that they wanted to list their property out in Jackson Heights. They're holding off, and while holding off on that aspect, now they're thinking about renting that property out while moving out east, right? So continuing that trend, and they're looking in particular pockets of Belrose and Floral Park, but the Queens side. So people are looking to move. This particular person was talking to me about the fact that they were disappointed in the fact that prices were not dropping to the point that they thought it was going to happen, right? Hey, how's it going? So some people, were they thought that because of everything going on, because of the pandemic, because of the economy, because of the election, because of all these different things that we dealt with in 2020, that the market was going to tank and that there were going to be some great deals to be had. And what ended up happening was that, prices remained, either stable or they went up. And it was due to the fact that demand continued to move. You had people from the western side of Queens moving along, towards Long Island or towards the eastern side of Queens. You have people that were going from co-ops to single-family homes to multi-family homes just to have more room, maybe even get, as far as multifamily, looking into investments, looking into building a nest egg, things. People's perspective changed with everything that went on, and it's been interesting, and it's something that we have to help each person on an individual basis, right? I can't give you a blanket statement as to whether you should buy or sell right now. It depends on all these little variables within your life. If it is something that makes sense for you guys, for you and your loved ones, if it makes sense for your future plans, what's most important to you right now, a lot of different things. But let me give you some numbers. So in January, beginning of the year, from the 1st to the 31st, we had 2,052 new listings. So right there you can tell that there is activity. And just like in previous videos when we talked about the pandemic, there was never a month where the number was zero. So no matter how bad things were getting, how bad things got, there was still movement in the real estate world, right? You had 787 contracts. And what contracts are is when both parties agree to the price and terms of a sale of a property. It doesn't mean that the property is guaranteed to sell at that point. It's just the step just before that process gets to a conclusion, right? You have to have both parties agree, goes under contract, goes through that process. Typically, let's go with 90 days on that, depending, of course, on the severity of the pandemic, because sometimes that was slowing that down. And then we get to closings. So there were 787 under contracts and then 792 closings. You had 269 leases. So that was also, that was a market that was active as well. And then you had 935 price changes. So you saw people adapting to the realities of the market, right? If you list your property too high, you're going to be on the market longer. What we call days on market are going to be extended. They're going to grow. They're going to get longer. People, savvy buyers, look at that and they try to find deals that way. If they see that your listing has been on the market for, 90, 120 days at the same price, there's no adjustments. When properties are on the market for that long, there's a tendency to be that the price or the condition or something it needs to be adjusted with that property, and there were 935 price changes. And sometimes those prices go up. Let's not throw that out there. Let's not forget to get that out there. Sometimes price changes is an increase in price, which is not always the best thing to do. But sometimes in multiple offer situations, it could happen, right? Then you had 196 extensions, and as we've talked about before in the past, the extensions, usually when you list a property with an agent, you come to terms on a length of contract, right? And when that length of contract ends, it would be considered an expired listing. And if we get to that date, or even before that date, the contract gets extended more days, then that would be considered an extension. And we had 196 of those during the month of January. So these numbers are for Queens County by itself, right? So those are some very interesting numbers. And now, because due to popular demand, let's talk about these numbers along with Nassau. So Queens and Nassau together. In total, you had 3,427 new listings, right? You had 1,918 contracts. You had over 2,100 closings. You had 2,122 closings to be exact. 572 leased properties. And then you had 1,422 price changes, which that is a hefty number, right? So that's 1,422 price changes, and then 273 extensions. So that is quite an active market that we've been in, and there are a lot of different variables that play into that. But you can see just in the number of listings, the number of under contracts, and the number of closings, those are getting to a higher volume. And now that we're heading into the end of the winter, which it feels like it never ends, but we're here in the middle of it. We're going into the spring market, where more properties are going to come onto the market. We hope. I mean, inventory has been tight for years now, including through the pandemic. We'll see what the future holds with interest rates being incredibly low. I mean, I feel like I've been talking about historical lows for years now, which I have been, but just in the last couple of weeks, I had some clients that were quoted at the 2.5% interest mark. So just crazy. If you can afford to buy and it makes sense for you and your family, consider it. Think about it. It really can be this could be a great time. It is a great time to create that kind of generational wealth and kind of a stability, leave a legacy, all of those things with real estate. So let's talk. If you have any questions about any of the numbers that I talked about today, or you want to know about your particular neighborhood, what's going on in the neighborhoods that you're interested in particularly, or if you wanted to know what your home's value would be in today's market, we can definitely have that conversation. There's going to be more content that I'll be putting out later today with another project that I've been working on for you guys. And always feel free to reach out. You can DM me, text me, smoke signals, messenger pigeons, all welcome. If I can be of any assistance to you, your loved ones, it would be an honor, and I will make sure to make you proud of the referral. So I hope to talk to you guys soon, and feel free to reach out. All right? And don't forget, you can always visit sellyourqueenshome.com for more information and for more specific information for your situation and the locations that interest you the most. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk soon.